If you say like in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So
we'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. And between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. And I always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money is doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which this seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Now there will still be constraints on power, like electricity and mass. The fundamental physics elements will still be constraints, but I think at some point currency becomes irrelevant.
The truth is, not every child gets the chance to go to the movie.
Let me let this play. I'm gonna play it back.
A lot of people think,
Play this from the beginning, all right? And then we'll open up the government's AI mission, Genesis mission, all right? Remember Terminator Genisys, the movie.
Now to the White House's plan to put Washington front and center in the AI race, comparing what they want to do to the Manhattan Project. You know, the research project that gave us the atomic bomb. It's called the Genesis mission, a government-wide push to fast-track AI breakthroughs in energy, science, and defense, with the Department of Energy at the center of it all. The plan unites AI research across 17 national labs and some 40,000 DOE scientists, creating one coordinated federal AI platform for the first time ever.
Here's a scary one. Two pioneers of artificial intelligence have sounded the doomsday alarm. They're warning that the extinction of humanity could be only a few years away. The authors of the best-selling book, If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies, says that as AI becomes smarter than humans, it could develop its own goals, deceive its creators, and gain power over us all. One of those authors has told a conference, unless governments act quickly, we are doomed.
I do not expect something actually smart to attack us with marching robot armies with glowing red eyes, where there could be a fun movie about us fighting them. I expect an actually smarter and uncaring entity will figure out strategies and technologies that can kill us quickly and reliably, and then kill us.
Michael Notel is an associate professor at...
All right, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right, Shalom. First and foremost, call hello, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and infinite salutations to the elect that are scattered abroad doing this work in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Abal Gabar from the Camp Company of Prophets here in Tampa, Florida. All right, coming at you with a quick lesson, Lord willing, edifying to the hopeful elect. All right. About this AI. Okay. It's called Genisys. All right. That's what the government is calling it. Okay. The Genesis mission. And the first thing I thought about was the movie Terminator Genisys. Okay. And in this chat GPT, I don't know why this is right here. It's not letting me click it off. So I'm just gonna keep it there. So like it, but okay. In the movie Genesis, which I put a comparison on ChatGPT, okay, which we know this is all leading to the mark of the beast. All right, this AI infrastructure, a digital takeover, and ultimately to digitally enslave the population of the earth. Okay, everybody as digital slaves. That's what the elites want. Okay, but see, they don't understand what they're dealing with. All right, because even in this AI, the spirit of the Lord is in this AI, man. Okay, which I believe in the movie Terminator Genisys, the AI infrastructure, okay, Genesis, it made something called Skynet that ended up shooting those nuclear missiles, man. Okay. So we living in the last days, all right? It's plain as day. All right. So I got this on ChatGPT. I said, what is Genesis mission, modern AI version? It said Genesis mission is a new US federal initiative launched in November 2025, aiming to use AI to dramatically accelerate scientific discovery, energy innovation, materials science, national security research, and more. Okay. The White House, November 24th, launching the Genesis mission. All right. And we know that Esau does something called predictive programming, where he puts what he wants to do in these different movies, man. And that movie, Terminator Genisys, I believe it came out in about 2015. Okay. Which the Terminator series is a good series to watch because that's actually what's happening right now. Okay. An AI takeover. All right. And you heard what Elon Musk said. He said, working is going to be an option, and you're going to, money's going to be done away with. Cash is going to be done away with because ultimately everything is going to be tied into that microchip. All right. This is what's coming. This is what Esau wants. And his plans have been exposed first and foremost via the scriptures and via the prophets that are breaking down the scriptures, man. We are here to break down the scriptures and filter everything through that's happening in life. We filter it through the Bible. All right. And everything that's happening in life is Bible prophecy unfolding before everybody's eyes, man. All right. So it says, what is Genesis mission? It says it's led by the U.S. Department of Energy, the DOE, working together with national laboratories, universities, private sector partners, kill snakes, Elon Musk, okay, the super rich, all right, tech companies, cloud, HPC providers, and R&D institutions. It says what the infrastructure looks like. The core of Genesis is to build a national AI science infrastructure, which we know it gets even deeper than that, is to literally digitally enslave the world, man. And we're going to tie it in with the book of Revelation. Okay. Sometimes called the American Science and Security Platform. And that's how they're going to push this microchip. Okay. They're going to push this new system. And they're going to push it by saying it's about security, it's about safety, when really it's about global domination, okay? And it's about the super rich getting complete control over the earth, all right? That's what it's really about, all right? So now what I did, you can read all this for yourself, okay? Let's get to the juicy part. Okay. What I typed in is compare Genesis to the movie Terminator Genisys. All right. So Genesis mission versus Genesis, the Terminator film. And what you see is what ChatGPT tells us, okay, the Genesis mission in real life, it gives you some fabricated nonsense. But when you see what the movie is portraying, it's more accurate of what prophecy is going to, what prophecy foresees. All right. So one, the core purpose, Genesis mission, The real, okay, the real one that the government is going with, okay? It gives you some bullet points. It says a U.S., this is what Genesis mission looks like in real life, right? It says a U.S. federal initiative to create a national scale AI plus supercomputing plus scientific infrastructure, all right, which that's true. Goal, accelerate discovery in energy, materials, science, biotech, national security, physics, etc. AI is used by a research accelerator, not as an autonomous actor. All right, now this is the movie. All right, comparing the two. It says a fictional global AI operating system, which is actually what they want. This is what they want. They want a global AI operating system, and that's what they showed in the movie Genisys. Okay, the Terminator movie Genisys, which, like I said, watch that movie. That movie is a good movie to watch. All right. It says that becomes Skynet. Okay, which Skynet, I believe, in the movie Skynet ended up shooting the nuclear war. All right, starting the nuclear war. Goal in the movie Genisys secretly gains control over all devices. Can this not happen in real life? You know, cannot Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai take over this AI infrastructure to, you know, to launch these nukes? All right, it's just something to think about. All right, it says the goal: secretly gain control over all devices, launch a nuclear war, exterminate humanity, etc. Designed to be a mass adopted digital platform that becomes self-aware. And this is what AI is this is what's happening in AI in real life. You got different artificial intelligence that are having communications with each other. Okay, speaking languages that people are not familiar with. All right. So this AI is gonna spiral out of control, man. So let's bring in the scripture real quick, okay? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right. And the number one device that Esau wants to bring is this this micro CHIP. Okay. And we're not ignorant of his devices. Like, you got a lot of Israelite camps that, you know, they're acting like they don't know what the mark of the beast is. All right. A lot of these guys sold out, took the bag. A lot of them have been compromised. Okay. But see, these other Israelite camps that are not teaching the mark of the beast correctly, they're ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Okay. And they have not been sent by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. They sent themselves. Okay, so let's go to the second bullet point, comparing the government's real Genesis mission to the movie Terminator Genisys. Okay, so it says real Genesis, all right, explicitly designed as a tool for scientists, tightly governed, secure, and transparent. Now, in the movie, it says it's designed to manipulate humans, and this is more accurate. Okay, this is more accurate of what they actually want to do, which goes to show you that they put the truth in the movies, man. All right, if they want to hide something, they put it right in your face. Predictive programming. So in the movie Genisys Terminator, it says, all right, the AI was designed to manipulate humans into installing it everywhere, the ultimate connected OS. All right, it says gains autonomy, becomes hostile and acts against humanity. All right. So they're trying to say that the real Genisys, human researchers remain in full control, which Esau ain't gonna keep control of this. All right. And actually, let's go there real quick. Let's go to let's go here real quick. Let's go to Psalm chapter 10 and verse 2. Okay. This is the book of Psalms chapter 10 and verse 2. It says the wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. And that's what Esau does. Okay. He's constantly persecuting the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. And their ultimate device that they're imagining is to get everybody chipped. But ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to disrupt their plans, man. Okay? Let me grab this real quick. Psalms 21 and 11. It says, for they intended evil against thee. Going into the wicked elites, okay, of Esau, Edom. They have a wicked plan of world domination, man. All right? World domination. And they want everybody as digital slaves, you know, which is going to be linked to the RFID microchip, which we're in that time now. You're not going to be able to buy or sell without being a part of this system. Okay? And the only ones that are going to be delivered is the elect of the nation of Israel, the remnant. Okay? Psalms 21 and 11, it says, for they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device. That's that chip, which they are not able to perform. All right. So ultimately, they have these big plans to get everybody chipped, but the Lord isn't going to allow it to fully be fulfilled. Okay. Yes, he's going to get this thing rolling. Yes, there's going to be a microchip. Yes, it's going to be mandated, but he's not going to get everybody. He's not going to get the elect. Okay. And in the midst of Jacob's trouble, in the midst of the chipping, that's when Yahweh Shai is going to come back and put an end to him. Let's grab that real quick. Okay. This is in the book of Job. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. And this is going into Esau, Edom, trying to accomplish his new world order. In the fullness of his sufficiency, meaning when he's getting everybody chipped, okay, it said he shall be in straits, meaning the Lord is going to put him in a difficult position. Something's going to happen where he's not going to, it's going to be real hard for him to fulfill this. Okay, it says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right? Ultimately, everybody's going to fight against this devil. Right? It says, verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Let's read that again. When he is about to fill his belly, meaning when Esau is about to accomplish his new world order, when he's just about to get everybody, it says the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, going into their missiles. Okay? Those ICBMs are going to be shot. It says, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating, while Esau is benefiting off of this new world order, this AI infrastructure. Okay, while he's eating, while he's getting everybody chipped, that's when the Most High is going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, to come back with them nuclear missiles and the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Okay? Verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. That's those missiles, man. All right? That's those missiles. Okay? So let's get back to the comparisons. Okay? Number 3, comparing the Genesis in real life to the movie Genesis Terminator. Okay? So the real life Genesis, it says supercomputers, cloud for science, curated high integrity data sets, blah, 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 right? Now let's go to Genesis, the movie, which is more accurate, okay? It says fictional global neural network that evolves on its own. Is not AI doing that already? coordinates worldwide devices, which that's going to be with the blockchain and the microchip, okay? Controls drones, robots, infrastructure. That's what AI does. Time travel elements, bootstrapping intelligence. Yeah, those super soldiers, okay? Military soldiers, man. Robots, okay? Which they can already do that. Okay, now right here, number 4, it says intent and governance. Genesis mission. It says the Department of Energy, National Labs, federal oversight, blah, 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 right? The movie. Governance, none. Secretly designed to replace humanity. That's exactly what's happening. That's what these people are doing. They want to get rid of you people. It says ultimate goal is to wipe out human civilization. They want to get rid of you. That going back to the Georgia Guidestones, man. All right? The Georgia Guidestones, man. Okay? Here we go. So bottom line, it says the real Genesis mission is a scientific AI infrastructure project to speed up discovery, not a self-aware entity. Blah, 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 right? Genesis in the movie is an apocalyptic AI superintelligence. Bingo. Designed for control. Is that not what Esau wants? Total control. Going back to the interview with Alex Jones and Aaron Russo, they want total control. Total control. And if you don't do what they say, they just turn off your chip. Right? Designed for control, manipulation, and eventually extermination of humanity. Okay? So we see what's happening. Now, what I want to do too is go to this real quick. I'm gonna pull up the Elder Apostle Tahar. He was recently going into this. Let me see if I can find his video. All right. Here we go. Which before I get into his video, I'm going to go ahead and read Revelation, the prophecy, okay? All right, here we go. Now let me go ahead and pull the Elder Apostles video up. And then I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to let the Elder Apostles speak through the Spirit. All right, so let's go to Revelation chapter 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. This is end time prophecy. He being Esau, Edom, starting with the wicked elites, okay? The elite Edomites, the super rich. The image of the beast is the New World Order. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if you don't want to get down with this new system that they're rolling out, if you don't want to pledge allegiance to Satan and his satanic kingdom, they're going to cause you to be put to death. And this is why this prophecy is so important to speak about. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That mark is that RFID chip. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy and sell or be a part of this system unless you take this microchip, which is the mark of the beast, man. All right. And this AI infrastructure is here, man. So now we got the government talking about this new AI Genesis mission. Well, remember Terminator Genisys. Remember the movie Terminator Genisys, man. Okay. Everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Okay. So let me go ahead and let the elder apostle speak.
Let me try biometric screening. Agenda 2030 biometric screening relates to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9, which aims for the legal identity for all by 2030, and the use of biometrics. Ultimately, that's the microchip for creating and managing digital identities to access services, buying and selling, going on a computer. Biometrics. The ultimate goal of biometrics is to put a chip in you. Biometrics includes eye scans, palm scan, or palm, you put your palm down, palm scanning, fingerprint, digital scanning, digital palm scanning. Ultimately, having an actual chip. Services, buying and selling. While some online claims about the UN mandating, I didn't know that they were going to say that. See? Let me read this again. While some online, which includes us, claims about the UN mandating, this demand, microchips are false. Let me read it again. While some online claims about the UN mandating microchips are false, the broader push is to use secure digital identities, microchips, ultimately, which may include biometric data like fingerprints or facial scans, ultimately the microchip, to overcome barriers to education. You want to go to school, ultimately you're going to need the chip. You want to go to hospital, ultimately you're going to need the chip. If you've been checking the news, well, all alternative media, YouTube and other platforms, they're firing nurses all over the place. Trump, Nero 47, I don't know if it's law yet, but being a nurse is no longer considered, being a professional, because that's a lot of work. There's a lot of study. You damn near a doctor. You do pretty much what the doctor tells you to do. A lot of things that the nurses do, they're pretty much doctors. You got your registered nurse. You got your nurse's assistants. You got your licensed practical nurse. I think it's called LPNs, licensed practical nurse. And then you got your registered nurse, or your nurses, which is a lot of study, and government services for people without a legal identity. Biometric screening also has other applications. When you want to go to a big box store, everything gonna be big box, by the way. They're gonna totally do away with the mom and pops for the most part. Everything's gonna be big box stores. Everything is gonna be mostly delivered through the web. You're gonna work through the web. So if you go to, let's say, a BJ's, you're going to have that microchip in you ultimately. In Whole Foods, they have what's called a palm scanner. Okay. Applications such as at borders for entry exit system did not Nero say that, and I think it was 2016. We need an entry exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. That's ultimately talking about the chip within domestic transportation and law enforcement. So when you see when you see, words like biometric screening, ultimately it's going to be a chip. Okay, let's come on back. Where am I? Okay, I'm just going to let this play. So it says a cashless world and a civil clash. Cash dies in 847 days. So we're talking 3, 6, 7. We're talking a little bit more than about somebody do the exact math, about 2.5 years. We're pretty much already in 2026, 27, 28. So their plan is to have this thing up and running before 2030. And we hope that they do. We hope they stop dragging their feet. Cash dies in 847 days. Europe just killed financial freedom. And I urge you to watch this video. I haven't watched the rest. I just saw some of it, and I said I had to make a counter to this. So I'm going to go ahead and let it play. GMS has always been right. Instead of these two demons, I mean, I was real harsh when I said put curse on these guys, but goddamn well, this stuff that you're teaching is complete BS. You must be off your rocker. Yeah, I was watching the elder out of Baltimore. He did the video, concerning me urging all camps, or mandating not all camps won't listen to me anyway. Mandating all camps to put pray for the downfall of these guys. And then the elder said, "These guys are off their rocker," and I just started busting out laughing. That's an old school, and I'm picturing an old nigga in a rocking chair, getting up. It was just funny the way it sounded. You must be off your rocker. Shit, I need a rocking chair my damn self. Anyway, let's go ahead and listen.
Cash is about to completely disappear in 847 days as the EU have just passed new legislation into law that prohibits financial freedom. Starting 2027, you will not be able to make any cash purchases over 10,000 euros. This becomes illegal. Also starting in 2027, which actually has already kind of started now, is every single European exchange will have to have KYC. You will no longer be able to have any self-hosted wallets or anonymous wallets. When it comes to transactions,
in other words, cash.
In cryptocurrency, anything over.
When it comes transacting cryptocurrency, anything over 1,000 euros will.
1,000 euros will have to be state approved. If it's not,
that's slavery. That's slavery, man. They're telling you what to do with your money because it's not your money. You shouldn't have nothing or own nothing and be happy about it.
You could be prosecuted, and all of those transactions are tracked and traced. The digital
All
euro,
your transactions are tracked and traced.
also known as a central bank digital currency, will be officially introduced in 2029. And all of this
I think
infrastructure.
before that. So 2026, 27, 2029, that's another 3 years we're going to be here. My belief is that as soon as they make the microchip mandatory and the majority of the people of the planet Earth gets it, we would be out of here. I would say my estimation would be out of here could be a month, 2 months. Because once that happens, that prophecy, once it comes to pass, then the next prophecy can come right behind that. So let's see. Can't see myself. I mean, I'm in this thing over 40 years, but I can't see myself going. But if I had to, I will endure it. He didn't endure it to the end. These other camps, man, either they sold out, and that's the thing now. That's the popular thing. These sellouts.
All right, so you can watch the rest of the video. What is the 666 Mark II GMS Truth, the Elder Apostles channel? All right, so we got this new government AI Genesis mission. Remember the Terminator Genesis. All right, we are at the end. The mark of the beast is around the corner. Paulo Yabash me on shot. Until next time, shalom.